what a difference a year makes. It's about a year since last year's NBA Finals between the Heat and the San Antonio Spurs, and the stakes, are still the same for the two teams in the finals, but I don't know about you, I'm a lot less emotionally invested in it. And I have to say, as weird as this will sound, I actually find myself rooting for LeBron James. That's right. Now, when he first announced that he was going back to Cleveland, even then I was a little skeptical because, it was great, and I'm going home, everybody loved me because I'm doing woo-hoo, whatever. But even then, I couldn't help but notice, had Dwayne Wade maybe been more in his prime and had, at that point you didn't know if Chris Bosh was coming back, and it just so happened that Cleveland had the number one pick, and, they had Kyrie Irving and some other players, so, you mean to tell me that if Cleveland was as lousy as they had been even a couple years prior, that LeBron would have gone there? And then, of course, they got Kevin Love, because LeBron James can't play without another superstar or whatever, but however it happened, however it's turned out, LeBron has had to do exactly that, because Kevin Love's out for the season, Kyrie Irving's out, and of course, once that happened, everybody shifted their attention to Golden State, who, even before the series, was probably considered a better team just because of the balance. And, the Cavaliers, let's face it, have anything but balance. They have one excellent player and some other okay players, whereas Golden State, they have one really good player and some other decent players. So, on paper, you would think, advantage Warriors. And if last year taught us anything, it's that you don't need the number one star in the league to win if you have a team that's willing to work together and a team of above-average players, which is what you would think Golden State has. And Cleveland has that as well, now that LeBron has kind of stepped up his game and gotten the other players into it. And Dellavedova, whatever his name is, has really shown me something, obviously shown everybody something. He's a gritty player who, gets to the rim, gets to the ball, does what he has to do to help his team win, does pretty much what you want a, quote-unquote role player to do, but he's playing an even bigger role than you would have thought. So again, I find myself rooting for LeBron, if only because, for once, he's the underdog in this situation. It's not the vaunted Heat, it's not the 8 championship-winning Miami Heat, it's not him and Dwayne Wade and him and Carmelo Anthony and him and the best players in the league all trying to win a title. It's actually how you win a title. It's actually a team gutting it out. Much like the Spurs for the last few years, much like, just some other teams who have come along and had to work hard and get their title, take some shots before they got there. And LeBron, to his credit, has lost some finals. He's lost some big games, and, he's won some big games. So, to me, this kind of is a test of his legacy, more so than those other Heat championships where he got really lucky and Ray Allen hit a three-pointer and he really had nothing to do with it. But anyway, this to me would be his crowning achievement if he could pull it off. Now, if he can't, again, I'm not really that emotionally invested in this. I kind of like the Warriors too. I like that they've been kind of a team that's been up and coming the last few years. You can kind of see it coming, but you didn't think they'd be here this fast. And so it's cool to see the Warriors in it too, with their three-point shooting, and they're doing stuff that usually doesn't win either. Usually teams like Golden State don't get to the finals. Teams that are, let's face it, known for offense and not defense. But the Warriors have done it, and they've dominated opponents all year. So it's, again, I'm not going to really be devastated no matter who wins the thing. I just think it's interesting that LeBron, not by his own choice, but he's now the underdog because his team doesn't have the same star-studded cast he's used to. And yes, I'm still frustrated with LeBron about certain things. I don't really like how he keeps, pointing himself out as the leader. It's like, we get it. We know you're the leader of the team. But, LeBron's not really known for his humility in any way. And that has not been, certainly he's made a big point to, be like, I got to keep these guys together. I got to do this and that because they're too dumb to do it on their own. Like, all right, whatever, LeBron. But, again, even when you like him, you don't really like him. It's just, I'm just sick of LeBron. But if he does win this finals, I'll give him props because I think he's really earned this one. Even if they don't win, I think he's gotten them further than anyone thought they'd get. I'll be interested to see how long he stays in Cleveland. I've always said that. I'd be interested to see in a couple of years if, he opts out or if something else happens, or I don't even know how that works. But if he doesn't get the superstars he wants, how soon is he back, with the Lakers or Miami or some other team that can, pair him with some big superstar. Again, nothing would surprise me with LeBron. But for this year, for right now, for the next few games of the NBA Finals, I will be rooting for LeBron. I'll more be rooting for Cleveland, but LeBron's on Cleveland, so good luck, LeBron. And again, I'm not really that invested in it. I do love the last couple finals, though. I've been really pumped up. Everyone remembers my reaction to the Spurs losing the NBA Finals and then the Spurs winning the NBA Finals. Really great to see LeBron fail back then. And, right now he's kind of redeemed himself for the time being, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, love to hear your thoughts on the NBA Finals. Who do you got, Cavs or Warriors? Here we go.